Greetings, Chris Viola here with the Perfecting Equilibrium vlog for March 21st, 2024. We're starting on a new project today. I've, over my lifetime, spending some time teaching in hither and yon, I've come to be a great believer in learning styles, and mine is I need to stick my hands in the dirt. The way I learn things is to try them out. I can watch a video, I can read, I can do things, but none of that really works for me. What works for me is actually doing something and knocking it around and asking questions that no one else is dumb enough to ask and seeing where it all leaves me. So today I'm doing that by starting on a new project to really see where we can take large language models. Written repeatedly about the fact that so-called AIs are crippled by all of the bad data that they're fed as they're indiscriminately allowed to wander over the internet and can't tell satire sites from news sites, from good sites, from bad sites. So that obviously begs the question, what if you fed something good data? What if you made an LLM that was fed a specific data set for a specific use? That sounds like it could be something useful. So today we are going to start on a new project. I'm calling it Virtual Grad Student, and that's because I suck at naming things. We all know that. Famously, the project that won so many patents and awards was called Project X for 2 years because I'm bad at naming things. And so eventually someone else came up with Velocity for it. So Virtual Grad Student is what we're calling, and I'm hoping one of you will write me a note that says, here's a much better name for it. So what is Virtual Grad Student? Virtual Grad Student is the dream of every writer. Every writer wants to have an assistant, a grad student, someone to fill in those 4 paragraphs of background about the construction methods of ancient Roman aqueducts. By the way, have you thought about ancient Rome today? You're welcome. Ancient Roman aqueducts and the special way that the Romans mix their concrete that has made it stronger than most any concrete we've come up to the present day. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed a large language model a specific set of data, and we're going to then come up with a freemium way of marketing it. Now, is this a real business? I don't know. That's the point of starting these things and seeing where they go. I don't even know if it's going to work. But it's an adventure, and I'm going to have fun, and I hope you will too. So I'm going to start by looking at a couple of things here that I can share with you that we can look at where we might go with this. This is a open source large language model called H2O GPT, and we can run it locally. This is not a local version. I'm looking at it and seeing if we like the interface, and then we'll see if we can how we can modify the interface before I go through the trouble of installing this on my machine or on Amazon Web Services. I haven't decided yet exactly where I'm going to run it. And if I do it on my machine, I'll have to buy more computer hardware. Oh, no. Anyway, so let's take a look at this real quick. Let's just type in a virtual grad student type query like, what is the SIG, helps if I can spell, of Huckleberry into American literature. Probably don't need to capitalize all that. And let's see what kind of answers we get here. And as you can see, what we get is exactly what we wanted here. Now, there's some slight differences to the models, which I really haven't looked at yet. When I've tried this yesterday when I was doing some research on here, this was the answers were more different. This looks pretty similar actually from all 4 models. You can see that the model names here. This one's called Llama 2. This one's called Mixed Trial. This one's called Turbo, Zephyr. But they all came up with a very similar set. Again, see there's some difference here. 5 here is cultural significance, 5 here is influence on American literature, 5 here is enduring literary legacy, 5 here is influence later works. Now, what I was going to do originally, my original thought on this was to feed it Project Gutenberg, which has thousands and thousands of books that have passed out of copyright, and use that as the background. Happily, other people have had the same idea, and there is now something called Common Corpus, which provides public domain data sets that you can just use. So that makes it much simpler, because I can get here, you can see U.S. public domain newspapers, French books, but we're not going to do that. I think we're going to try to start with something nice and tight that we can keep a pretty good, I want to keep it so we can use the Mark I eyeball to say, okay, this makes sense or this doesn't. Here's Library of Congress public domain books, and then down here someplace was U.S. public domain books. So we can just download and feed it, or just come over here and feed it those data sets. And so my initial thought is that what we'll do is we'll have a free model, let's say a couple queries a month or a week or something, a virtual grad student, and then the freemium steps will be more queries up to unlimited queries, and then the ability to feed it your own work as a data set and allow your writing style to be the style guide for the output. And so that would, if it all works the way it does in my head, that would bring us to a place where you had something that was fairly close to a real virtual graduate student. Well, we're at 7 minutes, and I think that is what we need to discuss this week. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I sure am. Off on a new project. That's me. That's when I'm always happy. So, well, I'm always happy anyway. So, anyway, feel out.